Bango.
Down there in one of those catacombs. There's other guys that they look like. I don't know. This don't make no sense to everybody.
We got an error on one of the clips. We're still gonna stay. Like, comment, share, and download. Golden Debate Show. Where we try to give as many clips and different perspectives and let y'all think about what y'all want to think about, and as y'all want. We don't, add no fear. Not even no hype. We just give it to you the raw shit, and we'll add our personal opinions, which are just ours, which don't mean shit. I want everybody to add. That's what the Golden Universe is about. Let's get it in. 2 Minute News, what up? Start off the show that we like to.
Hey YouTube, welcome to another episode of News in 2 Minutes, bringing you the news that you need to know every day. Let's begin. International chemical weapons experts have officially began dismantling and destroying Syria's chemical weapons stockpile, as well as the equipment used to create new weapons. The destruction is being carried out by the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons, where they are said to be using the most expedient methods for destruction currently known to man. Both researchers and organization administrators worry that the dangers associated with destruction during the height of a national civil war could lead to accidents or a purposeful bombing of the site, which could release large amounts of chemical weapons into the air. More than 50 citizens have been killed in ongoing clashes within Egypt after residents both for and against the deposed President Mohamed Morsi and the hardline Muslim Brotherhood took to the streets in one of the bloodiest days since the army seized power. Leaders of the Muslim Brotherhood are calling for continued protests into the week, testing the military's control of the country and asking followers to fight against both authorities and residents that are against the Brotherhood. Libya's prime minister is demanding that U.S. authorities explain an unwelcome military raid in Tripoli, where forces stormed in to capture a Libyan man wanted for bombing U.S. embassies in Africa 15 years ago. Over 400,000 people have been told to evacuate in China as the country issued its highest warning ahead of Typhoon Fido, which is expected to make landfall early Monday morning. In related news, Typhoon Danis is expected to reach southern Japanese coastlines by the middle of this week with over 90-mile-per-hour winds and a dangerous storm surge. Residents on Japan's coast are being told to evacuate when necessary and prepare by planning for power outages and storing no less than 1 week's worth of food. And to wrap things up, medical professionals are warning that doctors are continuing
as we get into the next clip, and the next clip is a David Packman clip.
Children's
Welcome back to the show. We've talked individually about different kind of disappoints vaccines causing autism,
vaccines. Once we know, once this Obamacare, they're going to be giving us mad vaccines.
Having died many years ago.
That you don't believe that the moon landing happened.
Look similar and
well, I don't believe none of them. It's called the Van Allen belt, but whatever.
And there's a new study from the University
I don't understand how two different conspiracy things can even add up, and that's how these vampires fuck with you, They try to divide everything. They
decided to do a research about conspiracy theories and the connection to other conspiracy theories, and the study finds that conspiracy beliefs seem to tie together those who deny climate change, refuse vaccines, and question GMOs. The correlation between
I just love to all that.
So the
it's
link
called open minds, not empty ones.
Conspiratorial thinking and all three of those science skeptic type issues. And the relationship was strongest with the vaccine issue. So there was a 0.52 correlation, which is considered significant in social science. And another way of saying this is people who tend toward conspiratorial thinking are 3 times more likely to reject vaccinations. The correlation with climate change denial and resistance to GMOs is much smaller, 0.09 and 0.13 respectively. This is interesting because individually, when you talk to a conspiracy theorist about any particular theory, they say they are not just broadly always looking for conspiracy theories and more likely to accept.
I would just say a lot of the time,
this is really specific to this.
For every conspiracy
this
theory,
study actually shows
2 of them
that there is
a little kooky.
There is a correlation,
but I wouldn't really call some of them even fucking conspiracy theories,
and another. Is this surprising to you, Lewis, or what do you make of this?
Okay. Shut up already. This is science.
We thought that a lot of people...
So this clip is very interesting, and the next one's pretty interesting as well. It's another David Packman clip. I found 2 of them. I thought that they were pretty good.
Right? If you believe one
kind
of them, you believe all of them.
Running them back to back
would be good. All of them. So I'm not really sure what to make of this.
I have to tell you, I'm just not really that surprised. I think that's what we make of it. That we kind of, in spite of what many conspiracy theorists write to us, that they're not just always looking for conspiracies. Every year, Futurist magazine puts out a list of predictions for the future. And there's one in particular that was on the list this year, which I want to discuss, which is buying and owning things will go out of style. And it has a little write-up which says, the markets for housing, automobiles, music, books, and many other products show a common trend. Younger consumers opting out of buying, instead opting to rent or subscribe to pay-per-use arrangements instead of buying and owning the physical products. Shared facilities will overtake established offices. Renting units will become more common than owning a home, so on and so forth. So I think that this may actually be true, but the article goes on to say why this is in the top 10 predictions. This is the story of two major phenomena colliding: an abundance of underemployed young people leveraging technology to create a new sharing economy.
The 20-hour work weeks are going to be really hard to own stuff.
Ownership. Netflix instead of DVDs.
We get a like, comment, share, and download at least?
Instead of buying a car. We could think about what other ones exist. But
where should they go?
I don't really attribute it to the financial aspect of this, which is increased unemployment for young people. I think that's a passing thing. Certainly unemployment for young people could become less common in the coming years. Hopefully it will. I just see it more, Louis, as like a social and cultural thing, where young people are less interested in owning cars and more interested in taking the subway.
So that $70,000 Tesla car that I wanted to
Kid Doe shows us the flames,
right
the damage to the car, and the resulting damage to the company's stock.
Okay. Shut up already. This is science.
That's a brand new car.
To the cameraman, it's just another car fire on the freeway near Seattle.
I can feel the heat in here.
Until he realizes what's burning.
Oh, that's a Tesla, dude.
The Tesla driver told the police he struck some metal debris. The car warned him to pull over. He did and escaped okay. The $70,000 car then burst into flames. Firefighters had a little trouble putting it out. They had to flip the car on its side, then used a circular saw to cut into the battery housing and douse the flames. The only thing that got hurt was Tesla's stock price.
Tesla trades on this perception of perfection. People have this image of the Tesla like it's so perfect it can't fail.
Tech analyst Rob Enderle says the stock had already been downgraded, and news of the fire burst their bubble.
The problem here is the perception's so far ahead of reality that when you have a problem like this, it tends to adjust back something closer to reality. So it just means that the stock is overvalued, and the end result is when you have a problem like this, the market
has called this a surveillance program. It is not. And the general belief out there is that everybody is surveilled. They are not. The metadata collection of phone numbers has been described in that form, that it's surveillance. Please describe exactly what is collected as metadata.
Please insert copy and paste the answer here.
Madam Chairman, what is collected as metadata is quite limited.
Indubitably, yes.
It's much like what you would see on a phone record. It is the number that a telephone calls, just the number. It doesn't include the name of the person called. It doesn't include the location of the person called. It doesn't include any content of that communication. It doesn't include financial information or anything like that.
A DVD, which would have specific instances.
Have some good stuff up there. Have some mothermoneymiles.com.
Largely victims. And what we see means, what pinpointed eyes mean, what the convulsions mean, a number of aspects. And we received that this morning, and it's horrendous. So
George
we're
Clooney
having that
is a spy.
Now, you know your neighborhood.
Needs a bit of
Keep an eye on
What he does is he pays for a satellite that spies on Sudan. This government has been accused of...
A strange car parked illegally might be loaded with stolen goods waiting to make a getaway. Report it.
Fighting restore might be the start of a violence. Report it.
I see a prowler at night. Don't frighten him away by turning on the light. Report it.
Remember, by helping us apprehend a criminal, you make sure that you're not his next victim. I guess you can sum it up in 2 words.
What's that?
Get involved.
Science. Shut up already. It's just science.
The Golden Show. It's golden.
Y'all never good at math. I could subtract. This thing is even. Y'all don't even want no. Flow with galaxy. Only using getting hella gold inflation.
I'm just trying to wake you up, everybody. I'm trying to wake you up.
Yeah, golden bullets. Yeah, go ahead and hit it. Up to the mind, my shit fine, but it must be the lie that got my mind all twisted up. Experimental flipping on the show, I get you. I don't know if you gon' hit you. Shit's dead on with no crosshairs. I'm flipping out my flow like I ain't from around here, and I ain't talking universe shit. We all one-on-one tip. Come on, stepping up the crib.
I'm just trying to wake you up, everybody. I'm trying to wake you up.
I be off that flow, go and strike that match.
You know, they were talking about climate change yesterday, and now we're learning that scientists and researchers are looking at how to change the weather on purpose. That's right. Lasers now could one day manipulate rain and lightning.
I mean, to discuss that, you gotta be pretty disgusting. Down there, one of those catacombs. There's other guys, what they look like, I don't know.
This shit's survival. There's no fat cats in America, so I'm like the 501. This thing shit, so turn your door to strip.
Down there's one of those catacombs. There's other guys,
This morning contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City College of New York. Professor, nice to see you. Extraordinary seeing Al Gore and Bill Clinton there together with Charlie, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, they did not get into this discussion, though. But it is fascinating. I mean, lasers, really? To change the weather?
That's right. Well, as Mark Twain once famously said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it.
Interesting. Harp gun.
Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, in the laboratory so far it works. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds. These seeds can also be created by laser beams. By firing trillion-watt lasers, you rip apart the electrons, creating what are called ions, and these ions act like seeds, like dust particles.
Not allowed to see classified material because there was no security clearance on file with the EPA Office of Security.
It's golden.
I thank the gentleman. I just want to hear one more time. Since 2008, the head of each agency is given a list of anyone who is a clandestine agent working under their cover.
That's my understanding, Mr. Chairman, from Intelligence Directive 304. It's on the internet, and it pretty much explains that the requirement of the Director of National Intelligence and the CIA to inform executive branch agencies.
So Secretary Clinton would know everyone at the State Department, and her deputy would know everyone who was CIA
next clip is from the man Truth Heresy.
The EPA directors,
now, he breaks
each of
down
them
a lot
are
of stuff
administrative.
using etymology, once it's basically
Michael Jordan, the Illuminati.
My bad.
2.
Baby recorder's memory bank is full, but it's all good. We're gonna keep it golden, rather than record a novel. We'll upload half the show if we have to. But Truth Heresy breaks things down with etymology, which is the roots of the words and the true meanings of them, to try to get, like, you know, yeah.
I'm making this video part 2 to Michael Jordan.
Science.
Because when I made my first video,
already. It's just, this
people
is
seemed
science.
to think that it was satire, or that it was a joke, or perhaps I just didn't like Michael Jordan, and it wasn't my favorite team or whatever. But the truth is much deeper than I think anyone is really willing to face. You see, the truth is, I have nothing against Michael Jordan whatsoever on a personal level. He has absolutely nothing really to do with what I'm talking about. I'm talking about how the Illuminati uses figures like Michael Jordan for their symbolic agenda. You see, Michael Jordan is just a pawn in the game. he is a puppet to the masters, the elite, the elders of the Illuminati.
Since sports is the biggest distraction, I know this one's going to rub people the wrong way, but remember, open minds, not empty ones, and it's really about the number 23 and the bull. But
and that is their
See, a lot of people
bull
get
god,
rubbed the wrong way too easy.
their bull god of the Bible.
I'm just trying to wake you
so
up,
you can watch
everybody.
a number
I'm
of
trying to
my
wake you up.
videos where I explain in detail about the fascination and the worshiping of the sacred bull god since ancient times by the elders or the elite, the rulers of the world. In previous videos, I have clearly explained about the worship of the winged bull from ancient civilizations like the Assyrians, the Akkadians, and the Babylonians, for example. And this ancient winged bull is known as the Shedu or the Lamassu. It is the cherub. That's right, it's the angel that is seen in the Bible with the four
Down there in
attributes,
one of those catacombs.
with the human
There's other
head
guys that
that
look
has
like,
bull
I don't
horns
know.
and a
Everybody.
beard, the body of a lion as well as a bull who has the bull hooves or feet, and then the wings that represent the eagle wings. So the truth is, this Malach, or the messenger of the Bible, the angel, is really just the message of the zodiac. In fact, this is the same cross that you'll find on Red Bull that shows you the four quadrants, and of course it shows you the Bibles as well as the winged bull that flies through the air. And that's exactly why they tell you that when you drink the blood of the bull, you will have wings and you can fly too.
This don't make no sense.
So now that you
everybody.
understand about the Illuminati's winged bull that flies through the air, you'll understand why Michael Jordan, who plays on the Bulls, the Red Bulls, flies through the air. And of course, his shoes are called Air Jordans, which of course is produced and made by the Illuminati company called Nike. And why do you think they chose Nike to be the producers of Jordan Airs? Because Nike was the goddess of sports. You see, Nike was the goddess who slayed the bull. And how's this Nike ad where they say, just do it? And of course, the Illuminati symbolism continues with the Illuminati number of 23, which is the number of Michael Jordan. And believe me, the Illuminati number 23 is not a recent phenomenon. It is an ancient, esoteric, deep hidden number of the Illuminati. So you see, that's why they made the recent movie called 23 starring Jim Carrey. He is the crazy guy. The only one, actually, who knows the hidden, esoteric truth of the number 23. In fact, the enigma of the number 23 can be found in countless Hollywood films.
Science!
From older movies to the newer ones. Like in the Illuminati movie, The Big Lebowski, where he always used bowling alley number 23. And in Jeepers Creepers, the Creeper appears every 23 years. And in Star Wars, on the final assault of the Death Star, they had to stay on target on 23 degrees. And in The Matrix, it is the utmost importance to choose 23 people to repopulate Zion. And the list goes on and on, so keep your eye out for the Illuminati number of 23. So now you know why they tell us that Julius Caesar was stabbed 23 times.
Science!
And why Jacques de Molay was the 23rd last Grand Master of the Knights Templar.
Baby recorded down and I almost locked it
the
up the table.
Quran
Bucket. Man,
was
yeah.
revealed to Muhammad in 23 years. And it's funny because a few days ago, something told me that I need to make an update to this Michael Jordan Illuminati video. And then I came home last night, and my daughter shows me a new video by Miley Cyrus about Michael Jordan and the number 23. And by the way, Miley was born on the 23rd day. In fact, she was born on 11/23. You see, the 23rd hour is the last hour, which is actually the 11th hour. The connection of 23 and 11.
To discuss that, you got to be pretty disgusting.
And I have much more connections to talk about later in this video. But for now, let's get back to the Illuminati number of 23. So I could go on and on about the Illuminati number of 23, especially how it relates to September 11th, where we have the two towers that were made of 3. Or like when you add up the numbers of September 11th, the numbers equal 23. Oh, and of course, the Illuminati's Emergency Command Center in Building 7, where they carried out the attacks of September 11th, was on floor 23. And if you do your research, perhaps now you'll understand why on September 11th they talk about Flight 23. So like I said, I could go on and on about the Illuminati number of 23. And if you think it's just some stupid conspiracy, well, then you certainly have not done because the number 23 has deep esoteric meaning. And by the way, the number 23 is why I got involved in all of this conspiracy over 10 years ago, when I was told about the number 23 and I laughed. And then I started seeing the number 23 everywhere. Okay, but now I'm gonna get real deep and serious about the number 23. You see, although the number 23 holds a lot of esoteric meaning within itself, in numerology, it actually holds an esoteric meaning by being related to July 23rd. You see, July 23rd dates back thousands of years to the ancient Sumerians and the Egyptians, which was their calendar new year on the heliacal rising of Sothis, better known today as Sirius, the dog star of Canis
Serious
Major,
about Sirius,
the brightest star in our night sky, which rose from behind the sun on
to discuss that, you got to be pretty disgusting.
Check out Chief Davidson on YouTube, but also check out the Golden Debate Show,
which rises on July 23rd, compelled me to make this video about Michael Jordan, whose number is 23, because his father died, or should I say was assassinated, and sacrificed on July 23rd. So if you have eyes to see the unseen like I do, then this information alone would be enough to expose the symbolism of the Illuminati. But as I was making this video, would you believe that I discovered that the theme song for Michael Jordan and the Bulls is a song by the Alan Parsons Project that's called Sirius. It's the song and the music that you've been listening to this entire video.
To discuss that, you got to be pretty disgusting.
This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of the annual purge.
Wow,
At the siren,
really like that
all emergency services will be suspended for 12 hours. Your government thanks you for your participation.
And because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments.
The ghost and the darkness have come.
He's here. I've studied it, but I don't comprehend the science.
Science.
What if it's not science?
Science.
What is it? Something like
There's other guys that they look like.
Am I still your favorite subject?
Talking about all that talking like this, like that, all day in your hood, golden shows, golden roads, strobe lights, laser lights, look at my gold, tripping tonight, happy shit, one more, tumble it up, no shit, we're talking like this, talking like that, we're talking.
Now you know your neighborhood. Keep an eye on it. A stranger taking a shortcut through the backyard next door might have broken into your neighbor's home. Report it.
A strange car parked illegally might be loaded with stolen goods waiting to make a getaway. Report it.
That loud fight next door might be the start of a violent crime. Report it.
If you see a prowler at night, don't frighten him away by turning on a light. Report him.
Remember, by helping us apprehend a criminal, you make sure that you're not his next victim. I guess you can sum it up in 2 words.
Okay.
What's that?
Shut up already.
Get involved.